with SXN, it was like it was a whole different energy.
What you guys are doing, or what Soulful Nature is doing, is like more the vibe that I love. Show was just felt like a Team Supreme show, like same kind of vibe as like our shows when we were starting out, like Team Supreme and shit.
So SXN, it started when a group of friends, actually, Brando and myself and a couple other friends from Fullerton College, we met in a music tech class, and the original idea was to make a video podcast about up-and-coming music artists that we thought were really talented. We never really got around to the video podcast thing, and we just kept talking to artists online and people that we already kind of knew that were making music, and slowly it turned into
we started releasing music.
Yeah, as we started releasing music, it turned into basically a label.
I was somewhat of our first run, so I gave Soulful by Nature a song of mine, and that was the first song that we put out, and we just kind of ran with it, and we knew that we wanted to release more music and play shows one day, but we just kind of knew that right now I was the first artist to post anything, and I think that's kind of what got the ball rolling. Is we just told our friends, if you guys want songs, we would post them through our page, and we're a happy collective, you know. We've just been doing our thing ever since. So our first show we decided to throw in California, so Southern California, local to Oliver and myself.
We had the first, I guess, official actual show, which was the De La Calle show in LA also. And that one was very cool as well. It was a lot more structured. And the venue was great, you know, they had great sound and great lighting, great visual effects.
You know, it was really interesting because, you know, we didn't know what to expect. We had never tried to do a show, or many of our artists hadn't even played a show. And we just, I felt that it was more people than we originally expected.
But it was a cool show, you know, it wasn't super packed, but the people that were there, I had a chance to talk to a bunch of them, and they were all really cool. They were all vibing with the music, and it was just a good time.
Man, so the first two SXN shows in El Paso, you know, it's hard not to group them together. It was pretty crazy how it happened. We actually went to some warehouse type party where we saw Amy G. Dalla perform.
I was playing some like usual like stuff that I would listen to, like LA Beats and stuff.
When we saw his set, we're like, man, this is like,
Boys,
yeah, this guy's good, and he's dropping like LA music in El Paso.
And he actually sent me a message letting me know like, yo, your shit's dope, you know, you know what you're doing, I feel like you should hit us up.
Eventually that led to, if I remember correctly, I think Image Dollar showed Fritham, you know, our page, and then Fritham started reaching out as well.
I think Oliver was contacting La Parada and Fritham was contacting Lobra. And we were trying to throw a show here in El Paso.
One day, out of nowhere, we received a message from both the Lowbrow Palace and La Parada in the same day, and they said, let's do it. And they scheduled us for You know, one show on a Friday, and then one show on a Saturday of the following week.
So our first show being in El Paso, we invited everyone to come out, and a lot more people came out than we anticipated. We had like 5 friends from West Virginia, 2 people from Oregon. I drove a Suburban full of like 6 artists from Southern California.
It was pretty crazy because like Danalog and Joe Rue, they actually drove all the way from Virginia.
But we drove there the first time, it probably took like 31, 32 hours. Like we drove the whole night, like it was crazy.
And they drove with like a whole bunch of friends. They drove in 2 cars. They caravanned it, they drove straight, they didn't stop. They would just switch drivers.
And man, all these moms' houses looked like a trap house. There was like sleeping bags. It was like stepping over people like in the morning, but it was all love, man.
But comparing the De La Calle show, the LA show, to the first 2 shows that we actually played in El Paso, the ones here in El Paso were definitely more like, I guess organic might be a good word. We came down and we knew what we had to do, and we did it. You know, we kind of like came down and we showed up and we were like, hey, like we're SXN, you know, this is what we're about, and this is, you know, what the fuck is happening, and we grew the show.
In the state of confusion, city of forgotten faith, county of the blues. Street address, Generation X Avenue. But it's the point that I drink on a newborn. Walking in my silver boots, you need a shoehorn and some turf socks. What if I told you that even if you late clocks?
Also, the visuals was a huge aspect that I had never had in any shows. Our guy Oliver does live visuals at the show, so having him there doing that while we were playing the music added a whole new aspect to the show.
The first 2 shows we threw in El Paso, the love was just incredible. Like, there were so many people, we had no idea who they were. You know, they knew the collective, they knew all the artists, they were familiar with the releases.
And it was ridiculously hot, and no windows were open, and it was the coolest fucking show. It got so crazy, and I don't know, we all just had a great time.
And the people of El Paso just love to dance, and they love to move, and they love to show the people that are there that they care.
We love you guys.
And you know, it was just really great, and we decided that although as much as we wanted to do 1 show a year, we just couldn't stay away from it. We've also been blessed with the chance to, you know, meet artists such as Ninjoy, and Otiv and The Second Sex.
Yeah, Ninjoy, Mr. Josh, super cool. We met on SoundCloud, but I just reached out to him, let him know he had dope music, and from there we stayed in contact. We sent music back and forth, vice versa. And eventually I showed him to the content committee on SXN, and we took him onto the team.
Let's just look at them for a little bit. Let's just look at them. Just look at the people watching this. Yeah, that's what I thought.
So having Ninjoy and Otiv out in El Paso, having their energy, trying to compete with that, they played right before me in Rhythm, and I knew like having Otiv stand on top of the fucking little tiny table that we had at Prickly Elder, his head was like touching the fucking roof, he's like getting into it, you know, there's like a good amount of people in this tiny fucking spot. You can see the bouncers too, they're just ready like, what the fuck is this guy gonna do?
It was the first time I felt like I was aware of a collective as like they were a living, breathing thing.
So another great, you know, like thing that has happened for us is working with amazing artists such as Eureka the Butcher, Astronautica, Daedalus, and even here in a hometown level, you know, like people like the Fifth Estate, which is another artist, you know, like from El Paso that I personally have a lot of respect for, and I know that SXN has a lot of respect for as well. I mean, it's been fun to work with like all, you know, like all the people here in El Paso, like all the locals, you know, like from the Swellies to Fat Camp, Dick Johnson's crew, Trillo. I mean, like it's just been fun, like to work with everyone. Like it's been like a wonderful experience, and I wouldn't change what we're doing for anything.
Make some fucking noise for you. I am the Fifth Estate. One love. Make sure you have some good time tonight.
Soulful by Nature is dope. I mean, not necessarily kiss ass, obviously, because I'm sitting here, but I talk about the crew a lot. It's all my homies, all my people from wherever. I think it's very unique, and I love seeing, like, every time you guys do something, it's like more and more, you know what I'm saying? So it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, the shows with SXN are I mean, they're vastly different from the type of shows that I would play in El Paso before linking up with them. And with SXN, it was like it was a whole different energy. A bunch of young people, you know, just wanting to dance and wanting to hear music that's a little bit different that you typically wouldn't hear going out to a, you know, just any given club night out there. So
I really, you know, vibed with your guys' whole aesthetic. There was so much energy. It was really nice because I was able to play a mix of like my new music that I'm about to be putting out, and you know, music that like I'm really into, and the crowd was so receptive to it, which, you know, is as a performer, you kind of need that energy. Don't you take your time. You'll be fine. Intertwine. You'll be fine. Intertwine. You'll be fine. That's how that affects your performance. You know, you feed off of that energy, and so when it's given and taken equally, I feel like it just makes the performance.
What you guys are doing, or what Soulful Nature is doing, is like more the vibe that I love when I show up in a town and it's like, you know, 9-10 dudes who are like, not dudes, but like people who are just like excited about the movement that they're starting, not necessarily just me being there. It's like everybody's excited for multiple reasons, you know. Like that's the vibe I got from you guys, or from Soulful Nature.
I think the biggest thing at first was like, I was like, yo, this is very like boiler room vibe.
Right now we're gonna go fucking hard. I want y'all to get fucking close, yo. Don't be fucking scared.
Or like I've never been to Low End Theory, but like what I imagine shows at Low End Theory are gonna be like.
So I look at SXN as like kind of like my peer. Like I want to see what they're doing. I want to keep up with like who they're excited about, because I want to like be on top of that shit too. I don't want to get left behind when they fucking find the next El Paso Carmack and shit. So.
I guess no, I'm not necessarily biased. Like, I thought this when I first saw him, but like Amy G, his fucking energy when he plays is just, it's dope. Like, it's really, really dope, and I like it because he's having a lot of fun with it. Then he sweats a fuck ton like me, so so that's the cool part about it, because like you can tell he's enjoying it and he's really fucking enjoying it. You know, like him, Rhythm, and really just anybody, how they... People that I've never even seen, I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like, this guy looks like Rhythm's diehard fan, and there's so many fucking Rhythm diehard fans, like, props out to you guys, because that dude just pours himself into that music shit.
So definitely one of my personal favorite guys on the team is Avery Manners.
He plays a lot of his own fucking original music. He makes his own intros for all of his sets, and like he can make the prettiest fucking songs I've ever heard in my life.
His sets, you know, I've never really heard a set like his before. It's different tempos, it's everywhere, it's heavy, it's melodic. He knows how to work the crowd really well.
think I remember one of the first ththings that I recorded was like the hangers in my closet. Like I went and the cord barely reached to the closet, and I was kind of going like that to the hangers, and like I kind of like warped it in Audacity and messed it up. And it was cool.
We have people like Brando on the team who, you know, are constantly making so much good music, and you know, it's music that they've been working on for so long, and I know once it goes out into the world, it's going to, you know, do really well.
On Thought of Set are one of my favorite just because how much variety he brings. You know, he'll play some beat scene stuff, then he'll play some fucking Snoop Dogg that I haven't heard in fucking years, and he just gets me back into like a very nostalgic place. Like.
Brando's mad interesting. Brando has like, if you get a chance to hear his unreleased shit, like it's straight fire.
I don't know, there's something about Brando that he has something this weird, nostalgic, unique like feeling to me, you know, like it makes me feel like a kid again in the most wholehearted way, and like you can see it in his sets, like he's like wholeheartedly having a good fucking time.
The specific sounds and styles that these guys have, you know, like they were all like handpicked by us, you know, like in the content committee, you know, and like you have like very, very heavy and obnoxious, you know, like noises coming out of Ledesma's production.
Ledesma, for example, has come out of his shell a lot, you know, to see how he's played from his first show to now, you know, like he gets more comfortable, he's getting more interactive with more of the crowd and stuff.
And then at the same time, you have Avery making just like beautiful, like ambient music, and then like Rhythm's like evolution, you know, like, and if you see him like play his sets now, like he like ends a lot with, you know, like Ghetto House and like just playing like random shit like that. Coming back to Amy again, very heavy and bass oriented. The twins, Virginia, you know, like their sound being like very, very analog. I mean, like those motherfuckers can play the keys for days. It's insane. Joshua, New York, like the thing that I'm trying to say, like all of these guys were handpicked, you know, like very carefully to form what it is that we have now in SXN, which I think is a great like group of guys just making music and making art, and they are all individuals, and you can really shows in the roster how they're all individuals of SXN.
For example, one of the people that has been extremely impactful to the team, and none of us have ever met in person, is Yukari.
She is the reason why we have the aesthetic that we have, why SXN is the image that it is.
I think Yukari is someone that's really changed the team as a whole. She's just been an extremely important part of what we do, and she's as big a part of this roster and this team and this family as anybody else, and that's what's so great about it. You know, together, although we're all strong as individuals, together we're just an amazing team, and I'm excited to see what things we could do together in the future.
Don't take the first reaction to be the truth. I am not going to ask you to figure it out. I'm going to ask you to be very quiet inside your being and to look. Scan with your intelligence and look and see all the things, all the thoughts that may concern you, the worries, the projections, the assumptions, the memories, the images that are formed in your mind. And look at them, but don't enter them. Let them come. But you stay as the space in which they appear.
I didn't know what to expect from our first show to now. And to see how much we've all grown as artists, as people, it's astounding.
It's hard to say what the future holds for SXN, in my opinion.
I see great things, I see a lot of growth. I just know that whatever it is, it's gonna be a great time and it's gonna be very meaningful and it's definitely going to impact all of our lives. And I'm just excited to do it with the team we have.
In the future, I definitely see the first SXN tour happening within the next 2 years at least. Yeah, I just see us playing shows around the world, if I'm being 100% honest. Playing shows, throwing dope music out there.
Something that I am gonna do instead of something that I wanna do one day, you know?
So, you know, like what I would expect for, you know, like our future is for us to keep on doing what we're doing. I mean, it's what we love to do and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah, it's really been an honor to grow along with this, you know, this wonderful team we have. I think we've all grown a lot as, you know, as individuals and as artists, you know, and the things we do. You know, just thinking back to the beginnings of our team, you know, everybody's music has gotten so much better.
You know, and I'm really excited to see where we're gonna go in the future.
I've seen them grow from like basically like nothing to like where they are now with all these connections that they have. All the shows they're throwing, and I know like they worked their way up. They went from like a couple shows and now they're throwing shows in different cities and they have all these connections to all these people.
And it's the overall craft of what we do. You know, for example, Brando, before we ever started SXN, you know, he had never really had much experience with like being an MC or anything like that, like at shows. However, you know, now we don't feel right when we don't have him at a show.
Ride with us, ride with us. Make some noise if you heard of Amy G. Dollar one time. Yeah!
Being MC, like I said, I could see and I could feel the crowd, and a lot of times I'm mirroring or just kind of contributing to the hype more than leading the crowd or giving all of my hype so that they can reflect it back. A lot of times I'm just mirroring them and just being a small introduction from who was just playing, and I just kind of lead them into, we got our boy Amy G Dollar or Rhythm coming up, and that shit's hype, man. I mean, they go crazy when people like Amy G Dollar get on stage. I can tell you firsthand, being out there, mic in hand behind whatever artist, that when our boys start dropping tracks, man, our people gets hype. It's kind of cheesy, man, but initially I just think of the love, honestly. Like, it's very much a family, man. Like I said, it's based on a friendship that Oliver and I created together, and everyone else that I've met through this, I genuinely could say, like, I care about these people and they're my family. I consider them my family.
You know, a lot of us went in on this just, you know, to make music and to have fun and to do something creative, but we came out the other end having a family because not only are we peers that work together, but we're a family.
Yeah, if I didn't have SXN in my life, I probably wouldn't be making music anymore.
Fuck this collective, you know, like these guys are my brothers outside of it, you know, like, and that's what I've always expressed as far as an individual, like, fuck business and fuck all this shit, like, you're my friend first, and we can't ever forget that.
Like, truly, everyone's always doubted me, and they've the only people that have believed in me from the moment I met them, like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's been a huge impact. I wouldn't be here without them, and they've just helped me grow in every way.
Soulful by Nature recognizes each individual for their uniqueness.
Oh my God, like what a blessing that I'm able to be part of this family that's like, you guys are so like, you guys push each other to be better, and like I genuinely think that that's what like family and friendship is about, and like this group is like the epitome of that.
And we've gone through hard times with each other, and we've gone through good times, of course, and it's something that has been very special, and at least for me personally has been crazy life-changing. For me to be able to truly call these people my family.
I think meeting the team, meeting people like Rhythm and Adrian and Manners and Ledesma, and just being with the crew, like I never felt like there was any sort of negative aura ever. SXN was truly about love. Prickly Elder, and first of all, Prickly Elder feels like a home to me now because I did like four shows there. It's definitely the HQ of SXN.
It was honestly like way different than how I thought it was gonna be. Like especially when I showed up to Prickly Elder.
So this is my son, Theodore Ledesma. He's a lot of people don't know it, but he's actually my ghost producer.
SXN is the past, SXN is the present, SXN is the future. SXN is infinite.